Trailblazers! Welcome to the Cast with Naya podcast, the space where we explore the challenges we face as young adults and youth, as well as uncover the pathway to self-development, personal triumphs, and the extraordinary stories that make each of us uniquely awesome. In this podcast, we spark conversations that matter, share stories that resonate, and provide insights that empower you on your journey. Whether you're a student, young professional, or someone in between, this is your space to explore, grow, and emerge as the best version of yourself.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Cast with Naya podcast. It's super exciting to be back on the show, and this is our first episode for the year 2024. So today's episode, we're going to be discussing the power of networking. The word networking is a popular word used by any young person nowadays. Network. So how do we effectively network? What is the power of networking? What are the strategies involved when networking with people? How do we nurture and maintain relationships? How do we even leverage on social media for this networking of a thing? That we'll find out in today's episode. For quality assurance purposes and audio fidelity, please note that this was recorded via Zoom. Moving on, I'll be reading our speaker's bio shortly, so just do well to listen. Kaitochukwu is currently a project engineer training with Peso Energy. She has been able to leverage her leadership experiences and trainings with SPE to learn and develop the requisite knowledge and skills needed to thrive excellently in the industry. Kaito is a social impact leader with a dire passion for environmental and energy sustainability. She is committed to building reliable structures, values, and people that contribute to advancing human and community development. One of the many reasons she was awarded the 2023 David E. Lumley Scholarship for Energy and Environmental Sciences, as well as the 2022 Girl in STEM Leadership Award by both SEG and SPE, respectively. Overall, Kaito loves to have fun, read, and connect cultures. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please let's welcome Kaitochukwu. Thank you so much, Kaito.
If you're on LinkedIn, you should know her. I don't need, she doesn't need, extra introduction because she is an amazing personality. In fact, she's part of the CEOs and MDs I'm seeing in the world in the future to come. Yes, so she's a boss on her own. A chemical engineer and an all-round amazing human being. So thank you so much, Kaito, for coming on the Cast with Naya podcast. Today we'll be discussing the power of networking. And I chose her because I feel like she's the best person that can tackle this topic properly based on her experience and her journey so far in the industry. So Kaito, before we commence, just say something to the house. Hi, and all of that.
Hi everyone. So like Naya said, my name is Kaito. I'm currently a project engineer trainee with Peso Energy, and I've been able to leverage networking as much as possible, which has fast-tracked my growth in the industry. So I'm happy to answer questions. I'm happy to share my experiences, and I hope we learn one or two things in the process. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kaito, for that wonderful introduction. So let's quickly comment. And my first question will be, so that our listeners can have a background, a common ground, and for clarity purposes. How would you define networking? And why do you believe it's an important, a factor in today's professional world?
For me, right, I would say networking is building and nurturing relationships, really, because it may not necessarily be in the professional sphere, but almost everybody aligns it with the professional sphere. But it doesn't just stop at building. It doesn't just stop at introducing yourself. It doesn't just stop at creating that connection. So what do you do afterwards? How do you make this person become a lifelong attachment to you? How do you create value in such a way that you guys are now exchanging mutual benefits at the end of the day? So networking is essentially going as far as nurturing that connection that you have built and enabling a lifelong, sustainable traction at the end of the day. And I think why I see it as maybe very important right now is because it's like a fast track to growth. It's like a fast track to opportunities, right? So nowadays, in like the country we are in, or even outside the country, in the world we are in, it's more of oh, how can I get my feet forward in this industry? How can I stand on the shoulders of people that have already gone ahead of me? How can I build on what is already there? So imagine starting from scratch. Imagine starting from a place of no knowledge, a place of ignorance. Imagine starting from confusion. So that's what networking does. It bridges that gap, it closes that gap, it brings that point where you're able to see from others people's perspective. You're able to learn.
Perspective.
Yeah, exactly. You're able to learn from what has gone ahead already. So you're not just starting from bare minimum. Yeah. Thank you.
So networking gives you that opportunity to learn from other people that are already ahead of you.
Exactly.
It gives you the privilege of not having to start from the very scratch or the very beginning. The very beginning. So it's almost like when there's this, I don't know if it's a saying or a quote, but this thing that people usually say: when you get up, throw back the ladder so that people can
So that people can exactly.
so climb up and reach to that top as well. So you will not want to just climb up and then throw the ladder away. You always want to drop down so that people can.
And one thing people don't understand is that if you're throwing that ladder away, right, it also falls back to you, because now at a point where you want to probably look back, where you probably want to reassess growth, where you probably want to look track your progress, there's nothing there for you to look back
There's
to. You're
nothing.
stuck. Exactly. So it's always a two-way
If you're
thing.
even overwhelmed, self, maybe with work and you need people to maybe delegate or something, you go work that work tire, like it's just you.
Okay.
So because there's nobody that you also groomed or trained to be able to take over or do something similar to what you're doing. So it's really a serious problem. But anyways, thank you so much for answering that question. So my next question would be, what strategies do you employ to effectively network with others in your industry or field? Because I know that this thing happens a lot. Some people maybe they go for conferences, go for events. They are stuck. They don't know how to approach people. They don't know how to meet people. And maybe even if they get to meet people, how do you maybe sell yourself, or what things do you get to say that can keep that person captivated and even want to listen to you and engage in the conversation? You don't just go there and be shining teeth. Hi, you're looking so handsomely dressed. Hey, what is the person will say, wow, thank you so much. But someone else that has something, maybe that's something more, will say all of that and still say what he or she wants to say. That can keep that person engaged and make the person maybe get interested in you or want to support. Well, that's if it's based on support or whatever made you go there. So, what strategies do you employ to effectively network with others in your industry?
I think one thing that has worked for me, right, is preparation. So I don't just go to conferences and go to seminars without having an idea of people that are going to be speaking, or people that intentionally going to go and network with, right? So before, like, even let me probably use NAIS for example, right? So before I prepared for this last NAIS, I looked through all the speakers. Like, I looked at their profile, I looked at what they were currently doing. I had, like, a little bit of knowledge about them, right? So when I met some of them, when I talked to some of them, I was not just coming from a place of, oh, hey, what am
ignorance? I don't know you exactly.
Exactly. I'd already researched on their background. I'd already looked into their companies, what kind of work they do in their companies. Then the next step was to go and sit down and listen to them talk. So that's the other thing. You don't just maybe meet people and you don't have like knowledge of them, or probably they even said something during the panel session or during the conference and you were not even listening, you were probably doing something else, you're not going to strike up a good conversation that way. The very first, after researching on them, then listen to what they have to say, listen to them speak, listen to them, dispense knowledge. Then that's like a very good place to start. So when you're walking up to the person and you're meeting the person, you're like, oh, I heard what you said about maybe the PIA, and this is something that has become a very big interest to me because I was able to work on it like during my undergraduate project. And I like you sound reasonable because now you're aligning your interests, now you're aligning your experiences with what the person has said or what the person has done. Even if probably you did not hear the person speak, right? You can always come up with something that alongside with what the person does. So you can say, oh, I saw that you wrote this article some time ago and I read it up on LinkedIn. Funny enough, I was able to even go through the article, and I would like to ask you some questions as regards this. Do you think this thing is, it's progressive? Do you think we should implement it? Something like that. Like, you're bringing value to the person. Nobody wants to attack themselves with people that are not necessarily bringing value to them. Okay, yeah. So if after saying, "Oh, your hair is nice, your shoe is nice," I would like to connect. What next? Like, what next? People like there's this thing people will say, "You rub your back, I rub your back." It's not necessarily maybe in terms of money, in terms of kind. It's also sometimes it could be in terms of knowledge. What do you have? What do you think exactly? What do you think about this organization I'm building? What do you think about these articles I put forward? Exactly. What do you think about this webinar I host, right? So I will say read up on people you want to network with. Find a common ground between you guys. Don't just come from a place of ignorance. Yeah, exactly. I think that's what I have to say.
Very, very well said. So read about them. Don't just come, from a place of ignorance. Okay, maybe I'll get to know them there.
Papa, you get
so but that's what a lot of people go with, and at the end of the day, it now turns out like every time network, and I've not even gained anything. My dear, forget the people have gained a lot of opportunities. People have been able to transit from one phase to another because of networking. Yeah, this who you know, I be know who know who. Forget is as strong as currency or even having money. In fact, you see, my mom always tell me that money is not even everything. In fact, someone that has people has money. You might think that it's about money, but you might if it's about money, you can organize an event today and spend millions of dollars. So who come and not eat it? It's people. If you don't have people, if you don't, so you will just have empty hall, maybe just 2 or 3. Prayer will start now. 2 or 3. God is there.
Oh my God.
So people are as important as currency. In fact, they are the most valued currency, people. Because if you don't have people in your life, I don't know how. I mean, I know that some persons might have had maybe bad experiences, but it's not to completely write off the fact that networking is a good thing. It has helped people transit from one phase to another, and it is still in the business of doing the same. So on that note, how do we maintain and nurture existing network connections over time? Because that's a problem. Some people, they network, and at a point, they are not able to nurture and maintain that connection. And you see that at the end of the day, and say that that's what happens to a lot of people. How can you not talk to someone maybe at least for a whole year, or how many months? 6 months. Then you now come to my DM or come to person DM. Hello, sir. Please, I'm looking for IT placement. Do you know anybody that can recommend me? Or or maybe ask for something, or maybe something that the person might have to go out of his way to do it. But if you're someone that at least once in a while, nobody is saying give money. Most time, just a little good money, so hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Have a wonderful day. Have a blessed week. It goes a long way. So that even if you want to ask that person for anything, the person itself will not even need to even think twice. He will just want to, grant. So maybe even if it's not him that can help you, maybe just directly, he can reach out to people just to help. True. And by that, to keep on expanding. That's how the connection expands. How I got my IT in LNG, my second IT. aside information being powered, but then how I now got my accommodation was somewhat because of networking with my sister. And so from there, somebody say somebody. Like my sister. That's how I now got like accommodation, because I didn't even have anywhere to even stay in Bonny at the time. From there, I now moved to a higher place. Like I was now in the RA. My then I got the but. So what I'm trying to say is, how will we now nurture and maintain this existing network so that over time?
Okay, I would say engage with them, engage with their content. Like some of us, we have networked with people, but they will probably be organizing webinar. We are nowhere to be found. They have
My
written
dear,
books. We have not read anyone. They have put out LinkedIn, ordinary LinkedIn people. You have not even liked it. Okay, you've not even gone as far as commenting or gone as far as saying that, oh, sir, I saw your LinkedIn post though, and this is what I think, or that was the points you made were very apt and salient. Some of us, we don't even engage in anything they do. We just want to always collect, and that's not going to work for us.
at
The
all.
very bane of networking is that you're able to create value, you're able to give value. So if you want to nurture that relationship, it's just like friendship. It's just like when it's just like friendship. You always want to be seen in that person's space. You always want to be doing well for that. You're always wishing well for that person. You're always like trying to make sure that that person is will I say is stable, is comfortable, that whatever that person is doing is succeeding, right? So that's the same thing. Reach out to these people. Okay, start from new month messages, right? You can start from there. Oh, happy new month, sir. Oh, I pray that this month favors you. I pray that this. When you see them probably put out webinars, ask them, what is it for, sir? Is there any way I can help? Should I create a form for you for the participants? Volunteer your time, volunteer your resources, volunteer yourself to these people, right? Okay, do you need help in any area? Are you finding difficulties? Because this thing is not just a one-way street. You don't just expect them to be asking you constantly, oh, do you need help? And every time you're saying yes, you need help, yes, you need help. Okay, what of them? Do you think they are not human beings that need help?
My dear,
Go as far as even as little as graphics design. Maybe you can help the person, bring out a beautiful graphics for maybe
as
whatever
small
they
as even reposting the flyer
get.
self,
You
go a
get
long way.
like these things. So one thing I do is that I engage their content. I engage anything they are doing. So currently, my mentor is having he put out this. Will I say this startup? It's called Sabi Life. So they create awareness on energy efficiency, how to maximize energy, right? How to reduce energy poverty and all. And we talked about it, and he was asking, oh, my opinion about it, like how do I see it going? Like what things do I it feels like I'm a Gen Z, but really I don't think I am a Gen Z because I
My
don't
dear, it's
even know
not
what's
really.
happening.
I'm not in that Gen
So
Z category.
you
By
get
age, I'm a Gen Z, but by
uh
behavior,
by
character, I'm not a Gen Z. I'm not in that
so he was
WhatsApp
like
group.
So you were trying to know, like, okay, so I see from a young person's lens, like, how do I think this thing will, push and all. And as little as giving my opinion, as little as following all the social media accounts of that startup, as little as, reposting their posts, as little as, putting up comments anytime they post, these things are really, really important. They may be really small.
True.
I mean, that's even the least you can do for all the, for all the knowledge you want to gain from that person, from all the, from all the help you want to gain from them. And you will see that at the end of the day, it's them that will be asking you, oh, are you facing any challenges? How do you think I can help? How do you think we can, push your academics or push your career forward? What do you think you need to, to balance well or to, to bring stability to your life? So engage them, engage their comments, send messages. Anytime you see them post something on their status, on their WhatsApp, don't just do as if you did not see it. They will just post, even if the picture is not fine, God, I beg you, but even if it's not, still comment, oh my God, you're looking so good today. Oh, sir, was that the event you talked about? Or something like that. Just engage them. People like to, feel good. People like to feel noticed.
Exactly. Feel
People like
love.
to feel
True.
you get. So just engage them. So I think that's really what has helped me to nurture relationship so far.
Very, very well said. In fact, in summary, just engage. Whatever way you can help, just extend a helping hand. Whatever
Yeah.
way, whatever means, just try. Try to always support, volunteer, and help people. And I trust that if you're able to do all of that, your networking game is going to be like
It's
here.
going to go again.
It's going to be, I mean, on an A level. Okay, so
That's true.
maybe can you discuss a time when a networking connection has led to unexpected opportunities or collaborations?
Okay. I will say presently self my work at Peso, right? Because it was out of the blue. See me now, I finished school,
I'm like,
finished
is that
project
one I
work.
want to? Out of the blues and out of the reds.
I finished school, I finished project work. I was already thinking, God, where will I start from? Like I need something to start doing. I need something to start. So that time I was like really, really, out to like look for the next opportunity because I felt like
Yeah.
after school, what is next, right? So I started like putting myself
Right.
out for jobs. I started applying for jobs. Like even the ones that I know, me and you know that they will not even pick you. But I was like, there's nothing impossible.
There's no
Once
harm
I
in
do
trying, my
anything,
dear.
you get. So I was putting out a lot of applications, right? And that's how I put out an application for personage when I saw their job description advert. And then I didn't even think so much about it because I knew, the current Nigerian situation, if you have not done NYSC, it's like almost impossible.
Yes,
Like it's
for you
like
to get exactly.
So I was not thinking so much about it because I didn't have NYSC obviously. So that's how one of the days afterwards, I think some weeks afterwards, and I received a call, right? And the person was like that I saw your CV, like I'm the very first point of contact that all the CVs come to during review. And I saw your CV and I know we have worked together. I know we have seen each other somewhere, right? And I saw that you volunteer with SPE, right? So that has to be the place because I'm also a member of SPE. And I was out thinking that hey God, who is SP? Who do I know? Who do I know? And he called his name and I was like, God, have I heard this name before? And he now explained that we connected during one SP Lagos annual general meeting. I think that was like a year ago or so.
Okay.
Like we connected during that time, and I was like really dumbfounded because in my wildest dreams, I have expected someone that we talked like over a year ago to be like you get. And he was not like that, although they don't take people that haven't done NYSC, but he's willing to push my CV to the next step, to the next phase, right? Then whatever happens there happens, but he's just like doing it out of the fact that he knows that he's a connection or he's a network that we have built, and then he knows that there's is something that can help me or something that that is now totally out of his hands, right? And I was so shocked. I was so shocked because I had friends that we did this we did the whole the whole application together, and the person told me that they called him and told him that he does not have NYSC, so he can't even move forward from there. I mean, I would like come and start telling the person that they told me the same thing, but they said I'm moving forward from there. It was so funny, like it was so out of this world. So I think that's something that I think, and funny enough, when I thought back, I saw that we worked on the same team during the Lagos annual general meeting. I was even like I think I was the head there, not head, but like they put me in charge of like the setting up the events and all. So the person was like working with me or working under me at that time. So we talked briefly and we during that time, and that was just it. Funny enough, I didn't even like nurture that relationship. If I want to use my word now, I didn't even nurture that relationship.
You not even nurture itself, but it just
like it just ended after that.
But it came because two of you had something in common.
You get, and
so
I think
if you are not volunteered, maybe if you're not an SP member, it could be any other organization.
It could be any, yes.
It could be involved in something.
I think one thing that probably struck him, because afterwards he was like that. I during that meeting I showed zeal for the work. Like I did the work. Like he saw me as someone that was
People are always
capable.
watching, my dear.
He saw me as someone that was capable of handling tasks. Imagine if I had shouted at him that day, or if I
Aye.
had cursed this. Hey God, I would have just been thinking of my life there.
As a Gen
So I
Z
think-
now.
So in networking, be intentional, be very deliberate, and it doesn't just necessarily have to be you always looking out for networking opportunities, but those small circles where you find yourself, be good. Let your good character, please speak for you. Yeah, I think that's what I have to say.
A good name is better than silver or gold. That's one thing that even my mom's dad, before he died, kept saying. A good name is better than silver or gold. Keep your hands clean. So a good name is something that no matter what, it will keep on speaking for you, even till death.
Yeah.
To keep on speaking for you. So try and, like you said, have good character traits that can make someone even want to make you employable. It might not even be employment opportunity. It could be recommendation, referral, or other things. So just be good, please. All the people that are doing Gen Z, and do crazy things, I beg, calm down. Because people are watching, and you see, my dear, let me never go deep into that matter. Anyways, so throughout your whole networking journey, I'm sure that for everything that has an advantage, there's always a disadvantage. We have pros and we have cons. So, have you ever faced a challenge or obstacles while networking? I know that there's some people that they say networking, go put them inside problem. Maybe it could be the man is saying something, yeah, now let's be friends. Before you know, friends will start. You can't the one that start. Please, that's just networking. So it has carried people to maybe cause problems for them. And not that, I don't know how to explain. Maybe they didn't know how to navigate that problem or overcome it in such a way that they don't dent the relationship, and it ends up affecting them in the future because maybe that person knows someone that knows someone else and say, oh, this girl, forget them. So what are the challenges or obstacles you face while networking? And if you've faced anyone, let us know, and how did you overcome them?
Okay. I think probably I'll maybe relate to examples. Firstly, like when I started off networking, like when I started off being intentional about my people that I want to reach out to, right? I was always tongue-tied. Like it was not because I didn't know what to say. I was just like, hey God, how do I even walk up to this person? Like, where do I even, where do I start from? Like, this person is like one big person. Where, what am I going to say? Right? And sometimes I'll even walk up to them, but the only thing that'll leave my mouth is like, I enjoyed your session today. And I'm like, oh yes, I enjoyed it too. And that's the end. And I'm
it's a great start point as well. I mean,
yeah, it is right. But I think at the end of the day, right, let's say starts for this just starts. Like I think I liked the fact that even when I was not sure what to say, I would just go and just open my mouth. Like let whatever wants to come out.
Come out, my dear.
With time you feel comfortable. With time you get the hang of things. Sometimes you don't necessarily have to talk. Observe people. Like tag all of your friends that can talk well, that they will even meet the high and mighty and their mouths will be opening. Tag along with them. Listen to them, learn how they are, their body language, how
able
they
to
are
communicate.
how they are communicating, and just learn from there. So I think that the very first challenge I face would be self-confidence. Let me just put that self-confidence, or probably self-assurance. How would I even put it? But that was that was
it's confidence, my dear.
Yes. So I think that's how to tackle it. Then I think the other example I would say will be there was a time when I had already built this connection with this person. I had already, and this connection was built out of the fact that she saw a post I made on LinkedIn. So she was like that. I was like the best person to handle this job, right? I was the best person to put this thing together. And she already had a team working on it, funny enough, but she felt like they were not really giving what she wanted them to give for the project. So I was now the next best person that should handle the project, right?
Mm.
And there was, let's say, maybe on my part, right, there was a miscommunication. So what I was thinking was that maybe she wanted me to handle a part of the project. But what she was thinking was that she wanted me to handle all of the projects, right? So at the end of the day, I submitted what I felt that was
She
what
said,
right. And that's how the next thing that she called me, and she was like, she was so disappointed in my work, that this was not what she was expecting, that that she had really, counted on me, put her whole trust on me, felt like I was what I was going to deliver. Hey God, oh my God. I said I felt so bad. I was feeling bad, not because of the work. I was feeling bad because this is somebody I had already built. We have already nurtured this relationship. We have already nurtured this. Where do I want to start from? We had already nurtured
I
this
understand.
relationship. We had already built the relationship, and obviously, like I in my whole mind, I wouldn't want anything to sour this relationship. I wouldn't want any to come and put any, And the next thing I did was that I think after apologizing, obviously, I went back. Like, I did not sleep throughout that night. I went back to do all the whole work that she had in mind, what she thought that I was supposed to deliver, right? And I did not that night. Oh my God, because I was really feeling that, God, am I a bad person like this? Like, where do I? So that night, I used that night to like finish the work, right? And I sent it to her, and I apologized again. And then she responded, and she was like that she's even so sorry. That it's her that should be apologized, that she was just so pressured on that same project, and unfortunately I was the person that was, and I think one thing I'll say from there is that don't see every strange network as as out of it, right? What you can do at that point to bridge that gap, please do. But once it's out of your control, just make sure that everything that you have done has been from a place of, I have tried my best, I have done what I can do. At the end of the day, man is not God, right? Man is not God. There are other people there. There are other people that are going to help accelerate your journey. Yes, that one person is important, but let's not just end there. Jump on to the next big person. Jump on to the other person that that can help this journey. And when you're relating with the next networking person, you can bring up things like this, right? So that you can also get that other person's point of view and see maybe where you missed it, or where you think the other person missed it. So that when stories like this are coming out at the end of the day, you're not totally without witness, right? You have people that can vouch for you. You have people that can say, oh, I understand when she has such experience, and she's a better person for it. She has taken some of my advice. She has walked the sorry journey, right? She's no more exactly. So in ways where you can bridge that gap, please try as much as possible. Try as much as possible to bridge that gap, because relationships are very, very important. But in a place where you've done your bit and you're sure, your conscience is clear that there is nothing more you can do in this situation, still be sending that new month messages you used to send to the person, right? Still be reaching out once in a while. How are you doing? Don't just cut it off entirely. But look out for the next opportunity and learn from that place. Thank you.
Very, very well said. You have spoken well. Thank you so much, Kaito, for expanding our knowledge on this particular question. So I think, should this be the last question or second to the last? Anyways, how do you leverage social media platforms and online communities for working purposes? As a LinkedIn madam now. Oh yeah. Shoot your shot.
The funniest thing is that I even spoke on like leveraging social media for networking yesterday.
I saw it.
So it's like bringing back. It's like bringing back what I shared with them, right? But one thing I would say is share. my dear, share your journey. Like, nobody is going to come to your house and smell like, oh, this girl's laptop feels like she has done this work before. She's the best person for it. Or this person feels like, share your work, gain visibility. Like, I don't think I can emphasize how much it is important to share. Like, sometimes it may not even necessarily be because you want to, put yourself out there. It could be because there are other people that want to get to that point, or are seeing you as someone that they need to hold on to in this life. And because you're sharing, they see it as an opportunity for them to learn and from them to share. Because sometimes even these junior ones that we're even bringing up, or these mentees we are bringing up, are the people that probably will facilitate one connection or one network or the other, right? So share as much as you can. Don't be too shy to share. Tell people, show people. Nowadays, opportunities that we are applying for, you're always asking, okay, share links to your work. If you don't have things that you have shared, if you don't have things that we know you for, how do we give you what we want to give you? How do you build credibility? How do you build visibility? People want people that are already, they're already documenting their journey. They're already showing us that this is how I started. This is where I am now, right? Even like they say, even networks. So people, I've connected with people on LinkedIn, and they will just go back to assess my profile, or they will go back to read up on me and see probably ways that our interests align, or probably how the person even feels they can even be of help to me, or probably how we can even probably collaborate on a particular thing or so. So share your journey, like put it up, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Don't
even get your contacts. Was it Victor Abiazim? I don't even know. Anyways, go on.
Don't be shy. Don't hold anything back. I think we are in a world now where people always want to see, people always want to know, people always want to be constantly shown, right? And okay, for instance, like when I started out my internship at Netco, right? I think that was when I was still very new to LinkedIn. So I was always posting like things I do on the job, things I learned on the job. And
that was when I even knew you. And I think because you always snap with Unduka. So both of you always taking pictures, and then I have followed you and all of that.
Yeah, so I think that during that time, someone sent me a LinkedIn message and was like that, that he works in the same network, and it was like that, that he sees my post and he thinks that we can have a chat, that he sees that I'm doing well, so I should come and meet him up at so because Netco is like a very big company, so like you have like over how many engineers, I can't even know everybody is like scattered at different areas. So he was like, I should come and meet him at so floor and all. And that's how I went there. And that time when I went there, I was not even really expecting anybody big. But when I got there, I mean, it was the executive director. Like, why is he reaching out to me? What do we have in common? I mean, he's up there, I'm here, right? Or he felt like that I was always documenting my journey, and he saw me as someone capable, someone very credible, someone always, someone very, will I say very, intelligent. Let me put it in quotes, because he felt like for me to be able to put myself out there, I should have something upstairs. I should, I should be gaining a whole lot from Netco. And that's how we built a relationship. That's how I said, helping him out, draft emails. I said, helping him out, book flights and some other like small things that in my wildest of dreams I would have never really imagined, right? So share your journey. You never really can tell who is that person watching. Most times people I meet now are like, I know you from LinkedIn. I know you from LinkedIn. I know you from LinkedIn. Even professionals, I know you from LinkedIn. So they are seeing credible work I'm doing. They are seeing, they are seeing that I am not just a scam or I'm not a fraud. Right, I am putting myself out there. I'm showing my work. I am consistently showing my work. So share your journey. Share as much as you want. And in sharing your journey, you have to consume knowledge. So you can't just be sharing it's like bringing out from an empty vessel, which is not really possible. You can't give what you don't have. So consume as much as possible, then share. I think that's like all I can say. Yeah. Thank you.
Very, very wonderful. Share, consume, so you can share more, because if you don't consume more, you can't share more. You just keep sharing, based on what you know, and even us the viewers will see that there's no growth. There's no
It's very
movement.
true.
My
There's no way you
sister,
can hide it.
mhm, you just keep on recycling. You will change another topic. I mean, move on. So I'm so happy for this
Exactly.
about this conversation. So before we call this a wrap, in one, should I say one word or one sentence? What's your final words to anybody listening to this episode on the power of networking?
Hmm. I would say the very first place you should start from is, learn to create value. Learn to invest in yourself. Because most times it's in investing in ourselves we have that confidence to put ourselves out there. We have that confidence
Mm,
to network self. We even have that confidence to open our mouth. So be
mm,
competent in what you're doing, be excellent in what you're doing, show capability, show competence, build yourself to a point where you know that whenever you're meeting someone, there is something you can say. There's how you can,
mm.
you can sell yourself.
Present it.
There's how you can, open your mouth and the world will be astonished and be like, wow,
Wow.
this girl knows herself. This girl, has her onions,
Mm,
and so I would say create an avenue to invest in yourself and
invest in
create
yourself.
value as much as possible, because it's whatever, this life is funny because it's whatever you give out
Mm,
people see you for. People, they don't know what you have in your mind. They don't know, like they can't come inside you and say that I feel like this girl can do something. No, it's as
mm,
much as you're able to give to people, that's as much
mm,
as they are willing to see, right? So create
mm.
value for yourself so you'll be able to put yourself out there more.
Thank you so much, Kaitochukwu. I really appreciate. Thank you so much. The cast may love and appreciate.
Thank you so much for joining us on this exploration of self development and growth. Remember that your journey is your own, and every step you take is a step towards your unique emergence. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave us a review. Remember, your feedback means the whole world to us. Stay connected with us on all our social media handles at the Cast with Naya podcast on Instagram and Facebook. Until then, keep emerging, keep growing, and keep shining bright.